Hey, it's Melissa. Welcome to my $100,000 stock experiment, year 3, week 21, ending September 4th, 2020. I'm letting you watch me on my journey to become a great growth stock investor. Hopefully you can learn from my mistakes and celebrate my successes. According to the IBD at investors.com, the market is in a confirmed uptrend. The S&P 500 index dropped down to that green line that I had drawn on February 14th that was showing support and resistance. It dropped down there in 2 days after climbing nicely for over a month. It did bounce back on Friday afternoon, but I got caught in the drop and most of my stocks sold. I sold way too many stocks this week and most of them for a loss. By the end of the week, I only had 3 holdings. Every time I buy a stock, I set a stop limit order at 8% below my purchase price. Then I like to leave it there for 4 weeks unless the stock makes a double-digit gain. iClick. I had no business buying the stock to begin with. It was a $10 stock. I got kicked out of it in 3 days. I lost 8% on it. And I was thinking about selling the stock even before it triggered, but then it triggered, it took care of it for me, so I didn't have to think about it. Dexcom, stock symbol DXCM. I held this stock for 2.5 weeks and it also stopped out at 8%. Logitech, stock symbol LOGI. This one also triggered the 8% floor and then it bounced back after it kicked me out. I have a rule to not let a double-digit gain turn into a loss. Medallia, stock symbol MDLA. I have a 1% gain after 3.5 weeks. This stock had bad earnings and dropped. MIB2 I held for 2.5 weeks and I had a 1.7% loss. Shift4 Payment, stock symbol FOUR. This one was painful. I did raise my floor last week to the B1 to break even. I just barely had a double-digit gain in this and then I broke even basically. I had a 0.1% gain in my B1, a loss of 7% in my B2, and a loss of almost 8% in my B3. Sprout Social is another one that had gone up double-digit gains. I raised my floor and I got out of my B1 with a 0.4% gain and a loss of 4% in my B2 and a loss of almost 8% in my B3. Lululemon, stock symbol LULU. This is a stock that I got out with some profit in my B1 and my B2. My B1 I held for 5.5 weeks and I had a 6.3% gain, and my B2 I held for 4 weeks and I had a 1.4% gain. My B3 I held just under 2 weeks and I had almost an 8% loss. I've been practicing when to hold and when to sell offensively. I'm trying to develop some rules around stocks that are slowing down, my big winners, and my high flyers. One bright spot of the week was selling TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor, for a nice gain. My B1 I held 11 weeks and I had a 41% gain. My B2 I held just about 6.5 weeks and I had a 19.5% gain. And then I had a loss of 1% on my B3, which I've held for 4.5 weeks. So I sold this one where that red line is. I didn't let it trigger the floor. It was leveling off with the 8-day and the 16-day simple moving averages merging. I did make some new purchases this week. A B3 in Amazon, a B1 in iClick, and a B1 and 2 in Marvell. By the end of the week, the only one I still own is Marvell by 1. So every week I look at my charts and see if I can possibly raise my floor. NVIDIA, stock symbol NVDA. I left my floor at last week's 31-day exponential moving average. The stock did cross over on Friday, what that 31-day exponential moving average was on Friday, and I don't want this to trigger a sell. So I'm hoping that this one can hold at that 16-day, the green line, the 16-day simple moving average, which is right where it closed about on Friday. I have nice gains in this. My B1 I've held for just about 13 weeks and it's up 40%. My B2 I've held for just about 11 weeks and it's up just about 32%. And my B3 I've held for 6.5 weeks and it's up 25%. And I like to add to positions as they prove themselves. This doesn't always work out. I added to Amazon a B2 and a B3 this week, and then the stock dropped. So I got kicked out of my B2 and my B3, both with an 8% loss. And my B1 I still own. I've held it for almost 2 weeks and I'm down 1.8%. Marvell Technology Group, stock symbol MRVL. I got kicked out of my B2 on this stock also with a 7.5% loss, and I still have my B1 and I have a 3.4% loss in that. I did leave my floor at the 8%. That leaves me with just 3 stocks in my portfolio: Amazon, Marvell, and Nvidia. 2 of them are down, and Nvidia is the only one I have a gain in. The weekly percentage change shows that all of my stocks were down for the week, plus none of them beat the S&P 500. They all lost more than the S&P 500 lost. My current dollar value gains, I have losses in Amazon and Marvell, and then Nvidia I have a nice profit in right now. Industry breakdown shows I'm super heavy in cash. I have 112,000 in cash. In chips, I have 36,000 with 3 buys in Nvidia and 1 buy in Marvell. And then retail, the Amazon, I just have the 1 buy in. My weekly percentage change shows I lost almost $13,000 this week, which is crazy bad. Here's the benchmark showing after 2 years and 21 weeks, my $100,000 has grown to $158,749 versus the S&P 500 has grown to $129,013. Ouch. This was my 3rd worst week in my experiment. The weekly change shown in purple down at the bottom, the S&P 500 was down 2.3% for the week versus the Melissa method down a whopping 7.7%. Awful. The S&P 500 since mid-April has gained almost 23%, and the Melissa method has gained just about 10%. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for my next episode, or better yet, subscribe to my channel, The Melissa Method. Don't forget to hit the bell if you want an alert when I post a new episode.